So when you're vibe coding, it can be like really easy just to delegate like all your tasks to the AI, but then you don't know what's changing. And if a lot's going on, like if you're trying to do a big refactor or implement a new tool, and it just can get really messy really quickly. And I'm kind of been I'm a little guilty of doing it. I usually stay pretty organized and try and take things slow. And so like inside my GitHub repo here, you can see that I've done like 59 commits. I have 9 branches. So like, and it's organized, but the problem is I'm in the process of doing a massive refactor of the code base. I did 3 attempts prior. Like I had kind of like a plan that was made to go and execute, but all of them kind of got confused with each other, which wasn't a smart plan by me, as I had kind of 3 refactoring plans or implementing a new tool, and they were all being done kind of simultaneously or unfinished, and I was like gonna go back, but they were all documented in phases. So like phase 1, 2, 3, you get it, and like 1.1, 1.2, and so it ended up bouncing all around and doing, maybe phase 1 of one project and then moving on to phase 2 of a different project. And so that was a mess. So I got this massive email router master code base reorganization plan. It's literally like 900 lines of code. And this is kind of the end goal that we're going for the code base structure. And it's pretty extensive here. But right now, like you can see email router, we have a lot of these Python testing folders that obviously it can go. But I now have a back end and a front end directory, because before it was all kind of commingled. I also have this shared folder now and then a test, but there's a lot of like duplicate work going on here, so I'm trying to organize all of it, but it's a really big refactoring. And again, like these models aren't intended to really take on such big tasks. And so one thing that I think is important to do is break down, like I have this MD file, this markdown file right here on how to basically attack this entire refactor. And I think this is the last time I'm going to do it that way. I think the next approach going forward will be breaking down each task in GitHub, because you can do, I think, in issues here, you can have like a pretty long list and do like the status of it, but then you can also do a project board. I've never done either, but just limiting how much context is used for the agents inside of like Claude Code or Cursor, I think is what will make the process a lot quicker and not like going down the wrong rabbit holes, because I'm basically telling, hey, Claude, or hey, Cursor, I want to achieve this, and that's a lot of work. And so it's trying to think of all of it at once. But if I could break it down into step by step, and the AI can help kind of build you a roadmap for that, and then push all those to GitHub as issues and attack one by one, it'll be slower feeling, but it's at least more like you'll learn more along the way, which is really important with these. Like while you're vibe coding, you need to be vibe learning, which is like this phrase that like I've just been thinking about, like vibe learning, right? Like ask the AI to teach you what's going on. So like right here, you can see it. Help me understand the changes you made. Include how you know it's preserving the right versions of the code we want to use. Overall, is the code base easy to understand? Is there a lot of fluff going on? Please provide an overview of where the code base is at now with regards to our master reorganization plan, which is this. Please also consider metrics or things we should double check to ensure things are going well before we move on. Do nothing else. This is simply a time for you to evaluate your changes, communicate them in a simple, straightforward fashion, because I'm new to the coding space and need to vibe learn while vibe coding. Then a proposal to ensure things are in a good spot and ready to move on to phase 5. And it provided this overview, and it's like like you need to understand it, even if it's stuff like, I think like when I first started, I was like, I don't understand what Python is or what a lot of this stuff is, like configs, like what the hell, like, it doesn't make sense at first. And so I just kind of chose to ignore it, but then it just kept coming back to bite me in the ass because I didn't know what was being changed and what the implications of it were. I'm watching it kind of make all these changes, and I'm like, I don't know what that even means, so whatever. But it's like, oh, if I would have known what that meant, I would have been like, no, don't do that. So vibe learning is something that's critical. And then the other critical point to this video, I guess, is just not doing this strategy, which I thought was pretty cool and effective, because for first little while, this can work, but not at this scale. This is way too big of a task. So, yeah, I guess try and stay organized. Maybe have a file like this, but break it down into smaller chunks. Get those on GitHub as issues or on a project board. Do each one at a time, probably, or maybe a few at a time, but definitely not so much. Even if you're going like phase by phase, it can still just get messy. So, I don't know. That just some of my documentation. Kind of want to treat this like a journal entry of like me building this project and learning along the way. So, I don't know if there's much value in this, but it's for me.